Hey guys, welcome back. And today I will not be playing MX Bikes Ranked on this two-stroke, but instead I will be doing, I guess, sort of a tutorial, mainly just kind of me rambling on and giving my own personal advice. Not the greatest advice, I'm not the greatest at the game, but advice nonetheless, on how to get faster at motocross. Past couple of videos I've been asking you guys to leave a comment what I should do to celebrate my channel hitting 10,000 total views. And I got a comment saying that I should give some tips on how to be faster at motocross. Let me get into a track and then I'll start with the tips I got. Alright, so the first tip that I got is going to be, weird enough, it's going to actually be playing supercross tracks. And my reasoning for that is supercross is a lot tighter usually and makes you think a lot harder. Typically it's also harder too, just due to everything being tighter space and you have to focus on rhythms a lot more. So first tip is definitely going to be to play some supercross tracks like this one I'm on, Stone Point Round 2. It's actually a MX ATV Reflex track. If I remember, I'll leave a link in the description below. If I forget, yell at me in the comments. But that being said, don't be afraid to hop on some supercross tracks. There's a lot of different sections, you have to focus on rhythm. Which brings me into my next tip. Smooth is fast. And by that I mean, if you sit here and just tape the throttle down the whole time, you're going to make a ton of mistakes. And you'll lose way less time on a track. This is kind of an easy track, so you can tape the throttle down a little bit more. But, like for example, I was playing, just screwing around with my friend on the game, and was not doing very good, not concentrating, so the whole time I just held my trigger at half throttle the whole lap, did not go above it, and very rarely went below it. And I was beating my personal best lap times. Granted, my personal bests were not very great, but that's something that's worth trying too. It just showcases, like I said, smooth is fast. Like how right now, I'm not smooth, I'm making a ton of mistakes, and I'm losing a ton of time. I'll demonstrate further by just trying to go all out, 100% as fast as possible. Perfect example of not being smooth. A mistake happens and I'm down almost 3 seconds from one mistake, which one mistake usually leads to a good variety of mistakes. Example again. And that'll bring me into my next piece of advice. Don't be afraid to slow down. If you're pushing past your limits, you'll be crashing everywhere. You'll start to get frustrated and you'll just lose motivation to keep playing. And if you're not playing, you're not practicing. So don't be afraid to slow down and take your time around the track a bit until you can just go lap after lap after lap without wrecking or making dumb little mistakes. Once you can finally get to a speed where you can just keep going lap after lap after lap with no mistakes, start slowly increasing the speed a little bit. Like right now I'm making a ton of mistakes, so because I'm trying to beat my lap time. Let me slow down until I can just keep going around here with making no mistakes. And I'm not saying to like slow down on rhythms to where you can't make the rhythms. I'm just saying like turns and corners and whoop sections. Don't be afraid to just get off the gas a little bit. Like obviously in a racing scenario you're not going to be doing that, but you know, when you're in here practicing on your own time to get better before going into a racing scenario, don't be afraid to let off the gas, gather yourself, and stay composed. And speaking of races and racing scenarios, my next tip is don't be afraid to hop on ranked. If you, at least in my mind, this is an opinion, you can, you know, everybody will have a different one. Don't be afraid to go and play some ranked. Now, I'm not saying you have to devote your entire life, every hour of every day, to playing ranked. I'm actually going to advise strongly against that. And the main reason, my opinion, is you should play some ranked is it gives you something to work for. It gives you a goal. If you see yourself slowly getting higher and higher rank, you're like, oh man, let me push to this next rank. You start off in bronze, I believe. You slowly start getting better and you see your rank moving up a little bit. Oh, let me get towards silver some. And it just goes on from there. But like I said, don't overdo it. If you overdo it, you'll get frustrated. You'll lose motivation and willpower to play this game. Trust me, I've been there, done that. I'm still some days not feeling like playing this game. That's why my upload schedule has been getting kind of screwy, because the game hasn't been feeling great. And that's another thing I'll bring up, because I'm sure some of you will point out that some of this list I'm telling you actively, I don't practice very greatly or don't hold true to the list, and that is due to the starts of bad habits that are always hard to break. So if you start with the list, you'll be way better off. And I'm actually gonna stop playing this track now. I'm gonna go to a different track, because my next point will be don't play just tracks you like. Play tracks that are difficult and ones that really just you don't like. It'll make you way faster overall. So I'm gonna jump to a track that gives me a ton of challenge and is quite difficult. I'll see you there. Alright, here on the track, and we're on Rio Vergio Go. However, this track is pronounced and whatever, but this one was added very recently to the ranked playlist, and it's been giving me nothing but struggle ever since it was added. I don't know why, but ton of mistakes I keep making on it, and I just can't get a groove on it, as you can probably see. I cannot, for whatever reason, get a solid groove going here, which I figured, you know, maybe it's just a bad track, maybe it's not a good track, but everybody I've seen talking about it completely disagrees with me. So I also keep just over jumping and doing stupid, as you can see by even my ghost in front of me doing the same. But being the fact that literally everybody I've seen talk about this track is disagreeing, I can't blame the track. It's gotta be me. So this is a good example of a track that I've been trying to play a lot of, because, like I said, my point here is play tracks that you don't like, because then once you finally do get on a track you do like, you'll be like, this is easy, I know this track. You'll be a lot more confident going into it, which confidence will make you miles faster at this game. So yeah, like I said, my point here is play tracks that you don't like or you have a lot of issue on, because it'll make you faster on tracks you do like. Which brings me into another point. Don't play, well, I shouldn't have scrubbed that. Don't play just one track, because I could sit here, I could sit here on this track and practice just this track for hours on end until I'm really good at it. But then that brings another problem of now you've only practiced this track, you'll be good at this track, but then you'll be not so good at other tracks, because it gets to a point where it's muscle memory, and if you gain muscle memory for one track, you won't have any form of muscle memory for other tracks. But yeah, as you can see, I struggle severely on this track. Maybe you don't, but for whatever reason this track just sits wrong in my head, so I struggle with it. Let's see. That's another point. So don't play just one track. Mix and match, and don't get caught on just one track. I'm going to jump to a different track to get some points across here. So I'll be back when I get... So, probably wondering what the heck I got going on my screen here. This is my next point. Don't be afraid to play some hard enduro, because it'll make you really think. And, well, I'm making a ton of mistakes here. I have this bike geared way too long for this. But don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and play some hard enduro, because, you know, trying to navigate some of these obstacles will make you learn a lot of good stuff, like, you know, some wreck avoidance and stuff like that. I'm off the trail. And sometimes it's just nice and relaxing to go smash your face into a tree. But no, sometimes it's just nice and relaxing to come out here and not focus on your speed, just chill out and have a good time, and take your time, take it easy, and sometimes it's a good reset. And on to my next point. You guys are probably wondering why I'm on a 450, one nonetheless, and two, the Suzuki 450. So that comes into my next point. Don't go for the meta until you're, you know, top couple hundred in the world. Don't go for the meta. Go for what feels the comfiest and smoothest to you, which when it comes to four strokes, yes, I know this thing is slow and all that, but this is what feels smoothest and comfiest to me, four-stroke wise. Which goes into my next point. Do not be afraid to go out of your comfort zone. Try new settings, which I probably should have picked a bike that I'm not comfy on to do that point, but I'm sure you guys get what I mean. There's a bike you normally would never run in real life, like, I don't know, say you don't like Husqvarna. Hop on the Husqvarna, drive it around for a little bit. Say you don't like Yamaha. Well, that is the meta bike, so my meta statement don't work for it. But if you don't like Yamaha, go ahead, hop on it, try it out. Send a backflip. If you don't like Kawasaki, don't be afraid, jump on it. It might feel like the best bike to you. Alright, before I keep making points here, let me get turned around. There we go. Yeah, that's exactly why I said about playing some hard enduro. Stuff like this makes you think. It's kind of hard to talk and think about doing this. But even for like trying out new settings, don't be afraid to test out some stuff. I mean, obviously, always, I'd take a picture of my settings before I change them, just in case I don't like my new changes. But don't be afraid to change some settings around, because what works one day don't work another day. That's why I should have made this point when I was on the 250 KTM. I have like 16 or 17 different setups on just the KTM 250. Because some days my main setup don't work. Some tracks my main setup don't work. So don't be afraid to mess with the knobs and learn how stuff works out in the game, because if you know what your bike's doing and why it's doing it, you'll be able to estimate what it's going to do a lot better. Like when you take a turn a certain way, where the heck do they got me going? Holy crap. Jesus. But yeah, you'll be able to estimate what your bike's going to do before it even does it. Like going around some of these corners, like this one, handlebar's gonna drag the ground because of how tight I turned and I was sitting, which is a point that Lynn's covered. If that's why I'm making some of these points that, you know, are a little different than what most people would say, because, you know, half an hour after I got recommended what I should do for celebrating 10,000 views on the channel, which, weird enough, right about the same time of hitting that and getting recommended to do this video, I hit 500 hours on the game, so it works out in multiple different worlds. But like I was saying, Lynn's literally a half hour after I got the comment saying I should make this video, Lynn's posted a video of the exact same thing, you know, how to get faster, how to get better, and a lot of the points, oh boy, going down. A lot of the points he covered, I was going to cover, so I had to think outside the box a little bit. But another tip that he said that I will add in, because it's just a good, reliable tip, stand up a lot more. Like, anywhere that you can stand up, you should. And yes, I'm a bad example of that. If you watch any of my races, you'll see me sit down in a lot of corners. But that is because of bad habits that I'm still trying to break. Let's see, I'll go to the right. Seems like a fun path in between the trees. That's, like I said, because of a lot of hours worth of bad habits. And I'm sure all of you know, habits that are bad are pretty hard to break usually. I am amazed I made it up that. Trying to think of some more tips to give here. Another good tip is backflip every hill you go up. But no, for real though, well, it's not a very good time to give this tip because of what's going down. But my next tip is learn how to avoid wrecks. And this one is the one that you're never ever going to be able to avoid wrecks in this game. it is something that happens to every pro, every person who plays the game. You're gonna wreck. It's inevitable. But figure out, I actually spent probably a good 5 to 10 hours purposefully doing things wrong, which it might be a bad strategy because it might lead to bad habits. But I spent a good bit of time doing things wrong, forcing wrecks, and trying different things out to try and counter the wreck so it doesn't happen in the first place. Like taking turns too quick, hitting whoop-de-doos a little bit crooked. Okay, this bike does no traction. I'm just gonna cheat a little bit here. But yeah, hitting things crooked, like hitting a jump while you're turning like you shouldn't. Little stuff like that once you learn like a couple of different ways to avoid wrecks when you know they're gonna happen, you can predict the wreck that's coming and, you know, go from there and figure it out. So that's another good tip, is sit there and practice some things wrong, because you're never going to be perfect during a race. It's impossible. And anybody who says they're perfect every race the whole time is just straight up lying. I mean, there's some people that are perfect most of the race, but everybody makes mistakes. We're humans, not robots, so. Okay, I should not have done that. Like right there. Old me in the game, even probably just 100 hours ago, probably would have went down right there. Doing stuff like that, where you know for a fact it's going to go wrong. Sit there and do it a couple of times, and try moving sticks different ways, try leaning different ways, and just stuff like that, until one of them eventually leads to you saving the wreck. Little stuff like that. This bike has no rear end traction. This is not helping my case. And then it has too much rear end traction. Like that. Digging the bars in like that. I'm sure a lot of you watching the video right now has had a situation where your bars touch the ground ever so slightly and you're on your face, laying in the fetal position on the ground. Just stupid little things that you work on it enough times and you're able to do it without even thinking about it. But until you do it that many times, you're gonna, you know, have your wrecks, your flaws, your fails. That's part of learning. It's part of this game. This game is, you know, not an arcade game. It's very hard. So, no point getting bent out of shape, beat down to the ground over wrecks and mishaps that are just bound to happen. Because even at 500 hours, which sounds like a lot and is a lot of hours, I'm not even top 500 in this game. Guaranteed not top 500. Like, the top players in the game have thousands and thousands of hours. And that's a lot of hours. Because they play it every single day. If you have the time and you're able to play it every single day, go right ahead. You'll get way better at the game way quicker. If you have stuff going on in life where you can't play it every day, you can still get better at the game, but it just won't be as quick. Which leads me to another point. If you can, play this game as much as possible. Don't play it to the point where you burn out, because then you'll be, you know, a couple of steps backwards. I've done it a few times, especially recently. But the more you play this game consistently, the better you'll get, because you won't get rusty, which is the problem I run into where the game treats me like crap. I take some break, and then I'm rusty, and it's learning process all over again. So play the game as much as you can without burning yourself out, and you'll slowly just start getting better, and at some point you'll be faster and you won't even know that you're faster. You'll feel slower, but you'll beat your previous best lap time by a second or even 5 seconds. I've had that happen to me, I don't know, probably every 50-ish hours, where I just randomly gain speed, and it doesn't feel like I gain speed. It feels like I'm actually going slower than my normal pace, but I'm beating lap times and scoring a lot better. Which I'm probably dragging this on way too long at this point, so I'm gonna get to my last tip. Hit a tree. I'm gonna get to my last tip here. Stay humble. Stay humble playing this game, because no matter how many hours and how much of your life you devote to playing this game, and even if you play this game and only this game, and you devote your entire life to just this game, remember to stay humble, because no matter what you do, there will always be, without a doubt, somebody faster than you. Unless you're a prodigy and just a force to be reckoned with. More than likely you're not. There will always be somebody faster than you. So don't beat yourself up over stupid crap. Like, you didn't win your race. You didn't even get top 5, top 10. Had an off day, whatever. I've done over 130 races for this channel, and out of all those 135 or whatever it is now that I have recorded, I still have yet to win a single race in ranked. I've won a couple of public matches, but they were a little below my skill level, so I don't fully count it. I probably could count it, but I'm not gonna. All the ranked videos I've done on a 2-stroke, I have yet to win. I have not won a single race yet. So, I mean, it's gonna take time. It takes a lot of time. So don't beat yourself up whenever it takes time, because it's not gonna get you nowhere. It's just gonna bum you out. You're not gonna want to play the game, and you're just gonna feel horrible. I've been there, I've done it, where you just do not even feel like you deserve to be in ranked with the people you're playing against, even if you know for a fact they're worse than you. Just that current time, you just don't feel like you deserve it. But I've rambled on for, I don't even know, close to 20 minutes or something, whatever it ends up being. So I'm gonna leave the video off there, guys, and give a quick rundown of the list I got here. Smooth is fast. Don't be afraid to play supercross tracks. Slow down until you can spin lap after lap without making mistakes. Increase your speed slowly. Play ranked to give you something to work for. Don't get frustrated, and don't overplay ranked, because you will get frustrated and you will want to quit the game. Play tracks that are hard and ones you don't like, because those are the ones you'll get that'll make you way better at the tracks you do like. Don't play just a single track. Don't spin hundreds and hundreds of laps on forest and never touch another track. Don't go for the meta bikes until you're at the level where every millisecond matters. go for what's smooth and what's comfortable to you. But also being said, don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone. Try new settings, try new bikes, try playing in third person, static onboard where you don't see the body movement, dynamic onboard where you do. Try all that stuff. Don't be afraid to play this hard enduro because it will challenge you, it will make you struggle. But it's nice and calm and peaceful, so you're not racing, you're not going quick. You're just sitting there chilling, jumping rocks, jumping trees. And lastly, stay humble and realize no matter what, someone will always be faster than you. On that note, guys, I'm going to leave the video off air. Hopefully any of these tips help you out. Hopefully you get faster, and hopefully I'm racing against you guys, and hopefully you guys are keeping up with me or faster than me. I'd love for that. That's great. I want nothing more than people to be fast and competitive. So hopefully any of these tips help. Check out Lenz's video for more basic, like actual riding tips. But until next time, peace out.